You know, it's so important if you travel for your work that you find ways to include your family so that they don't feel like you've just gone off and left them. One of the things I did when I started to travel was I bought for each of my children what we called a shadow box, which is actually a printer's drawer, the wooden boxes with little sections. And then every time I go to a different city, I find something miniature that represents that city that I bring back to my children. And so not only do I have a gift to bring to them, but it's something little, something inexpensive. At the same time, they're learning about those cities. They're learning what that city stands for. And so they've had a great time with that. Now, even though they're in their 30s, they still want me to bring something back from every city that I visit. Another thing that you can do is to get a map of the United States or the world if you travel internationally, and then have your children put a pin on all the places that you're going to be visiting in that business trip. And that gives them a sense of where you are in relationship to where home is. One thing I did that my children loved was I got each of them a very special notebook, and I tried to find something that they loved, either their favorite color or a cover that had something that they loved. And I asked them during the day to write down things I want to tell Mom. And then I called home every night at the same time, usually 8 o'clock at night, and the children would all get their notebooks out, and then they would read to me all the things that happened that day that they wanted to tell me about. Now, what was so interesting about that, two things. One, I heard more from them when they read their notebooks than when I was at home and they came home from school, because most of the time you ask what happened today and the answer was nothing. And so I learned many more things. Secondly, they have saved those notebooks over the years. And so it's really fun for them to go back when they were in grade school or junior high and look at all the heartbreaks with the guys that they liked and so forth. So the last thing that I would recommend to you is to do something with an audio or CD so that you leave something behind for the children to listen to. And so as you are traveling, maybe you read a bedtime story ahead of time, and that's played back to them every night when they go to bed. So they really feel like you're a part of their bedtime ritual and not so far away. You can also get a calendar. And that was something else that I did. And I would circle each night, have the children circle the day that was going past, and there was a big star on the day that I would come home. And so they knew, again, as they were younger, exactly when Mom would come home. So all of these are ideas of things that you can do to help your family feel a part of what you're doing in your work and feel a part of the trips that you take and not feel like you've just gone off somewhere without them. They will feel a closeness to you that's very important and very special, especially if you have young children.